Let's talk about something that's literally all around us, powering our lives every single second. But it's also one of the most silent and invisible hazards we face. I'm talking about electricity. So today, we're going to dive in and really get a handle on how to stay safe around it. Now, you might think this is a topic just for electricians, right? But check this out. A full 50% of all electrical accidents happen on the job, and they affect people in every kind of role you can imagine. That number it's just staggering. So, where does the other 50% happen? Right where we feel the most comfortable, at home, or just out and about. So this isn't some niche workplace problem. No, this is an everyday life thing, which makes understanding it just absolutely critical for every single one of us. Here's the thing that makes electricity so uniquely dangerous. You can't detect it with your senses. There's no warning sign. It doesn't have a smell, a color, or a sound. It's completely invisible. And that invisibility is exactly why we have to be so prepared. So to really protect ourselves, we have to learn to speak its language. Let's break down the fundamental forces that make it all work. It's actually pretty simple when you get down to it. Okay, first up is current. The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to picture water flowing through a pipe. The current is just the amount of water, the sheer volume of it that's moving. It's the flow part of electricity. Next up, voltage. Now, if current is the volume of water, voltage is the pressure that's pushing it through the pipe. It's the force, the push that actually gets those electrons moving in the first place. And the third piece of the puzzle is resistance. This is anything that tries to slow down that flow. In our water pipe analogy, resistance is like the pipe getting narrower. A skinny pipe is going to fight that water flow way more than a wide one. So you've got the flow, the push, and the opposition. Current, voltage, and resistance. That's the whole game. And, that current can flow in a couple of different ways. There's alternating current, or AC. That's what you get from a wall socket. The flow literally alternates back and forth. Then there's direct current, or DC, which flows in one steady, constant direction. Just think of the power coming out of any battery. So how do all these things work together? Well, they create what's called a circuit. You have a power source that creates the push, the voltage. That push sends the current along a path to power something, like a light bulb. But, and this is probably the most important part, for it to work at all, that current needs a path to get back to where it started. It has to be a complete, unbroken loop. And this idea of a complete circuit, well, this is where things get serious for us. Because the exact same principle that makes a light bulb glow can do incredible harm. Why? Because our bodies, unfortunately, are really, really good conductors of electricity. This is a really important distinction to make. You don't get a shock just because you touch a live wire. The danger happens when your body completes the circuit. For instance, you touch a live wire with your hand and your feet are on the ground, boom. In that instant, you just became the easiest path for that electricity to get where it wants to go. And when your body becomes part of that circuit, the consequences, well, they can range from a little tingle to an absolute catastrophe. The danger isn't just the shock itself. It sets off this whole chain reaction of other hazards. On the inside, electricity just wreaks havoc. It can make your muscles contract so violently that you can't breathe. It can throw your heart's rhythm into chaos, causing fibrillation or even full cardiac arrest. And all along its path, it generates incredible heat, causing deep, severe burns you might not even see on the surface. And the danger goes way beyond just our bodies. Think about the environment around you. A single spark can ignite fumes or dust, causing a massive fire or an explosion. It can cause critical equipment to fail, and in our world, it can mean the instant loss of priceless data. The ripple effects are huge. Okay, so with a risk this powerful and this invisible, how do we actually manage it? Well, professionals use a really smart framework called the hierarchy of controls. It's basically a priority list for safety, from the most effective thing you can do down to the least. Let's walk through. At the very, very top, the best thing you can possibly do is elimination. It's exactly what it sounds like. You remove the hazard completely. Before you do any work, you de-energize the system. Unplug it, flip the breaker, lock it out. If there's no power, there is zero risk. Simple as that. Now, if you can't just eliminate the power, the next best option is substitution. Ask yourself, can I do this job with something less dangerous? A perfect example is using battery-powered tools instead of corded ones. You're substituting high voltage for a much, much lower, safer voltage. Next down the list are engineering controls. These are all about making physical changes to isolate people from the hazard. We're talking about things like proper grounding, which gives electricity a safe path to travel, or devices like RCDs that can shut off the power in a fraction of a second if they sense a problem. Even good old-fashioned insulation on wires counts. After the physical fixes, we have administrative controls. This layer is all about changing the way people work. This means having clear, written safety procedures, using warning signs, getting special work permits for high-risk tasks, and of course, proper training. And then, way down at the bottom, we have our last line of defense, personal protective equipment, or PPE. Things like insulated gloves, special safety shoes, rubber mats, they're all essential, but they are the absolute last resort. Why? Because they don't remove the hazard at all. They just try to protect one person from it. So you've got this entire safety framework. But you know what? Every single one of those layers, from the top to the bottom, relies entirely on one thing: people. All the gear and rules in the world don't matter without knowledge, skill, and responsibility. It all comes down to competence. In a professional setting, safety is a team sport. It has to be. You've got managers who plan the work and assess the risks. You've got supervisors on the ground making sure the plan is being followed. And you have the worker whose job is to stick to that plan and be the eyes and ears to spot a hazard and speak up. Everybody has a critical part to play. So, what's the bottom line here? Electricity is the invisible engine of our modern world. It gives us unbelievable power, but it demands our respect. And after going through all this, the question I want to leave you with is a really personal one. Are you giving it the respect it deserves?